We've all heard the saying, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And what does that mean to the small business owner that's working his socks off trying to earn a living in some tough times? So watch this video through to the end and there'll be a special prize there for the very observant amongst you. Come on, stop mucking about, do it now.
So the way that we're going to start this off today, I think, is by a few quotes that actually sound like it's not about the destination, it's all about the journey. You've all heard it. We've heard it hundreds of times. But what does that actually mean? So let me give you 5 quotes that are very similar, okay, and a little bit around them. So the first one is, happiness is not a state to arrive at, but a manner of travelling. And Margaret Lee Runbeck come up with that, and it emphasises the joy that comes from how you live your life and experience it, not just from reaching a goal at the end of the journey. Number 2 is, success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome. And that was Arthur Ashe, you remember, the great tennis player. And this really does highlight the value of the process and effort over the final achievement. Number 3, it's about focus on the step in front of you, not on the whole staircase. So I don't know who did that, it was unknown, but it's very true again, because it encourages you to appreciate and concentrate on each stage of the progress rather than fixating solely on the end point. Number 4, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that was from Lao Tzu, and it stresses the importance of starting and embracing each step of that journey. And number 5, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, and that was John Lennon. And it does remind us that the moments along the way are what truly matter and not just the ultimate goal. Now, when I work with sports people, I often see that they get really emotionally attached to the outcome, which then affects their performance. So rather than focusing on the process to get you to the outcome. Now, we've talked about the goal funnel and everything. And the reality of this is, what I'd like you to do for this coming year is to set some goals, but work out what the process is, the daily process to take you towards it. So this is the quote for me for this. It's set the goal, forget the goal, and then focus on the process. And that aligns perfectly with the quotes that I've just given you. So yes, you've got to have the goal. You know, you must have something to be aiming towards. Otherwise, we probably will fall into mediocrity. But that's a choice that you can make. It's up to you. But if you want to achieve more than the average person, we need to set that goal, a goal. But then once it's set, right, we've got to start focusing on the process that takes us towards the goal. So let's give you a few little tips to start with, right? So why you need them. So goals, they provide the direction, but not the purpose. And what does that mean? So it acknowledges the importance of setting a goal as the guiding star, if you like, but it also means that you mustn't obsess over that goal, because if you're obsessing over the outcome, you're not actually taking the steps that lead you towards that. And what that does to most people is, oh, they've set a big goal and then they don't do it because they've gone, oh, I've never achieved the goals anyway, so what's the point of setting them? So then they end up in the, the circle of mediocrity. Growth happens in the process. It's the process of doing something that really does help us grow. It's the value of that actual hard work. And the real growth is in the personal learning and the mastery of that. So do you remember that I gave you my last technique, which was learn, apply, strengthen and teach? And that is all in the process of enjoying that process. It is about the process. So set the goal, forget the goal is all about reducing your emotional attachment to the outcome. Because the moment that you become emotionally attached to the outcome, you actually stop focusing on the process, which is more likely for you to then fail at your goal. So you must actually think about, what is this process? It is all about it. The next bit is focusing on what you can control and forgetting all about what you can't change. If you can't control it, why would you even focus on that? So to me, it's about, again, the daily actions on the things that you can control, and you can control your daily actions. You can't control the outcome, but you're more likely to get to the outcome if you focus on those daily actions in the process. Which goes on to the fifth bit for this. It gives you sustainable motivation, because if you're motivated on a daily basis to do the process, you know that if you do that, the outcome is almost guaranteed, and you'll definitely be in a stronger place than you would if all you did was moan about, well, I haven't hit the goal today, or that's really tough, or yeah, well, it's not working. The real point of this is, it is actually on the process. It will prevent burnout as well. So the satisfaction comes from the daily wins and that effort, rather than waiting for the ultimate payoff. So 5 strategies to do that. Okay. 5 strategies to help you implement the mindset of set the goal and forget the goal and focus on the process. So number 1, break the goals down into actionable steps. Okay. And why is this important? So focusing on the small steps and the little tasks makes the progress feel more achievable and shifts the attention from the big goal at the end to a manageable daily efforts. So the way that you do that is just break it down into micro tasks or little milestones. So it's, for instance, if so when I'm trying to fill up a mindset course, I know that the big lump of it will be filled up from referrals anyway, but that 20-25% at the end that isn't, I need to get people in on that are not aware of it. So daily actions, daily bits on my social media and the people I speak to all move towards this course filling up. And I know that by the time the course is launched, it'll be full up. So, and it's like another one, weight loss is another big one. People say, I've got to lose 2 stone or whatever. And they're focusing so much on the 2 stone that they're not losing on the pound a week or a couple of ounces a day. They're little bit, it's back to the marginal gains. So little gains over a period of time make a big difference. But what happens is people give up. If you want to be like all the people that give up, fine. That's your choice. But don't moan about the result in the end. Okay. Number 2, this helps you cultivate a present in the moment bit. Okay. It's mindfulness, if you like. And by being engaged in that present moment, it ensures that you're concentrating on the process rather than anxiously, anticipating future results. So the way that you do this is practice some mindfulness, such as deep breathing and meditation, before starting your task. Just take it down, slow it down. And rather than, and this happens to busy people that, I've got so much to do today. I've got so much to do, because they're focused on the outcome. So sit down, work out what you got to do, break it down into small bits, and then focus on the process of completing each one. Do you remember the 3 F's, or the 4 F's if you like? Find it, focus on it, fucking finish it. So do it. So that's the bit. So the question to ask yourself is, what am I doing now and how can I do it better? So there's the now, better, best coming into this. Number 3, it's all about habits and systems. Okay, so you've got to develop better habits for yourself. Okay, and that is little routines and systems that make progress automatic, which reduces the amount of mental energy that you have to spend on decision making and reinforcing the process orientated behavior. So if you turn it into a habit, it becomes natural. It's just easy to do. So, but little steps each day. So the way that you would do that is create a daily or weekly schedule that prioritizes the key tasks that you need to focus on. Automate as much as you can and systemize, as many of the repetitive processes as you can. So for instance, making a meal plan, how you're going to do your social media, what time. So most of my social media is done first thing in the morning because I'm up early and I'm sitting there. I've made my lovely wife a cup of tea and taken it to her in bed, and then I'm sitting there and I do my social media. So again, consistency becomes your superpower. And over time, the process leads to getting towards those goals much more naturally. Number 4, measure progress without obsession. What do I mean by that? So what gets measured gets managed. So if you monitor the progress, it will help you stay motivated and identify the key areas for improvement on a daily basis without fixating on the ultimate goal. So it's the daily bit. So if these daily actions move me towards it or away from it. So if they're daily ones doing you towards it, you're going to do more of that. If they're moving you away from it, just stop doing it. So how do we do that? Right? So look for some, what do I think? What about this? So effort-based metrics. So rather than outcome-based ones. For example, track the hours that you've practiced on the golf course, or to learn a new skill level, or to get better at something. Schedule some, check-ins throughout the day. So, or weekly or monthly, to actually look at the overall progress, but avoid the daily goal comparisons. So, if you do that, progress tracking becomes a tool for growth, not a source of anxiety or pressure. Number 5, celebrate the wins. Okay, too many people run around moaning, oh yeah, but I haven't got this far yet. Okay, but how far have you come? Focus on, the amount of progress you've made rather than how far you've still got to go. Too many people undervalue where they've come and the amount of the journey that they've already made, and enjoy that journey. Building a business, it is about enjoying that journey. If you're not enjoying it, it's because you haven't got a process. Remember that. If you are stressed, it's because there's not a process to deal with the object or the event that is causing you stress. So start rewarding yourself for consistency, and Sarah's really good at this. So she sets her goals on a daily basis, and then she sets herself a treat for when she's done them. So for instance, she'll go out because she loves, being in the garden. She'll go out and do some work in the garden and do some bits there because that's where her real love is. But she's done all the office work. So she'll get that done and then say, right, I'm going. So to sum up this for you, breaking your goals into small steps, practicing mindfulness, getting the consistent habits, tracking your efforts on a daily basis, and celebrating the wins that you've had will create a sustaining, fulfilled approach to achieving success. So you shift the focus away from the outcome and onto the process. That is what it's all about. Set the goal, forget the goal, and then really, really get involved in the process. It is all about the journey, and it's not about the destination. The destination's great. Don't get me wrong with that. It's it's nice to hit those goals, but the process is the bit that's actually going to get you to hit the goals. It's an example from that, from a sporting analogy. Some of the golfers I play with, they're so focused on winning or hitting a great shot that they forget about the process to get them to do that. And part of that process is practice. Practice on a regular basis so that you get better. And if you've enjoyed this video,
please watch the next video just here, or subscribe to my YouTube channel just here.